take of the night, the last shot. All right. Well, what I was gonna talk about has gotten shifted over because something else had shifted in just within an hour ago. I was out walking. I saw something that reminded me of the story. Oh, that's a funny story. I've told it before, different places. I've told it at a couple open mic things back pre-COVID, and anyways, funny little story. And I like to remind myself to tell it every now and then, regularly. That way I don't forget it, because it's well, here it is. Okay, has gotten many names over the years. I've named it, but I stick with the squirrel story. Is what it's called. Is what I call it. All right. Again, 150% true. I'm not trying to make it weird, like it's just some big giant crazy story or something. It's a little. You'll see. All right. And there is a little bit of a lesson to it, actually. About strength and character and attitude and all that. But all right, here goes. So we're going to take on our time machine shoes, and we're going to go back to the year 2002, I believe it was, or one, in the summertime, and I was working. I was about 30, 32 or something years old back at that time, I think. And I was working I had a few things I did. I had my own school that I ran couple days a week, nights a week, and then I also worked at a gym, part-time, at nights, just collecting the money and closing up and stuff like that, and as well as some other things and another school. But anyway, this story happened at the gym. Right, I was working at the gym this one day. The ending it was towards the end of the day and night, but it was still light out because it was in the middle of summer, and I was sitting in the chair by the door where everyone comes in, because that's they would pay me their dues, or if they want to drink or whatever, but I'm just painting the picture of the scenario. So it's the big door, and it's right on the sidewalk, street, no stairs. Open the door, you come right into the gym. There's a desk to the right. That's where I was sitting behind. And then all the members would just come and go and work out. It's 2 floors, right? Okay, good enough. Earlier in that day, a couple hours earlier, I was in there weightlifting myself, and a squirrel came into the gym, and like into the fucking gym, like in the middle of the gym. He came in and went in through a few rooms. Everyone was freaking out, running and crazy and shit, and I was like, what? I just finished my set, and by the time, I got out to where the squirrel was, he was already leaving. He was done with the place, but I saw him in the middle. He turned, these crazy looking squirrels, some of them, their hair's all fucked up. They have like squirrel Tourette's syndrome. They look insane, really rabid or something. Some squirrels, if you really look at them, I do. Squirrely little bastards, right? And then I ended up was the one to run him out of the gym because nobody else would do it and go near him. So I just made a big noise around, and I ran him, and he ran out of the gym. No problem. Cool. Okay. A few hours later, it's end of the night. I'm getting ready to close up soon. There was only one guy left in the gym. This cool guy, great guy, big guy, strong guy. Henry was like 250 pounds at least. Big, solid dude. I knew him from high school. Tough guy too. And he was the last one to leave, so he left. AJ, see you later. And then I'm sitting there waiting for the last 20 minutes and looking at my magazine, and I had the door open because it was hot, and I hear Henry screaming outside, not just like one. It was like a steady like scream. So this, of course, gets my attention, and I'm out the door in a second, and I look across the street to see Henry, big fucking Henry, running down the street on the other side of the sidewalk. There's nothing, no one behind him, nothing. So I'm like, and then it took me another second or two to figure out. because I saw him as he was running and turning, looking over his shoulder. He was looking down, you know, like that. So I knew it's probably the fucking squirrel. Couldn't be. Maybe it was a dog. You know, I could have squirrel chased somebody, especially a big guy like him. Thinking all this in a few seconds. Sure enough, between the gaps between the car, I see Henry go by. A second later, the little fucking crazy maniac squirrel is running after him. He runs on the sidewalk, across the street, and runs, like, jumps into his truck, his pickup truck, and gets in there. He's like, and then he was laughing now, you know, he made it, and he was sitting there, and I was standing there laughing, you know, and I swear to God, I can't be any more honest. The squirrel stopped at the sidewalk and sat and looked down at him when he sat in the truck, you know, like, fuck, he couldn't get him. He's like, stopped and looked and rest for a second, you know. And then he's like, fuck, and he's all, and I'm laughing over there, really laughing, you know, at him and stuff. The squirrel turns its little Tourette's head, you know, and looks at me, you know. I laugh. I say, fucking think about it, you know. Mr. Karate guy, teacher, black belt, all this tough guy. You know, I'm just laughing. He's not going to come near me. I ran him out of the fucking school, out of the gym before. Squirrel takes a second, turns completely deadlocked for me, and starts fucking eating ground. Coming straight at me like a fucking torpedo. And it was about 2 lots, a lot and a half away, so probably about 40 feet or so away on sidewalk, you know, just straight. And I'm like, first thing in my head, there's no fucking way in hell I'm running. There's not a chance in hell. Again, let me say that again. Not a chance in hell I'm fucking running. But that went through my head. I was like, okay, good. We're down with that. We're not running. We'll get bit. We're not running. Fuck that, you know. And so I'm like, but I'm thinking he's not going to come close, you know. I'll scare him. And by this time, he's half the way to me already. So I yell, I let out a big scream. Ah! You know, I stomp my foot. I yell. I make this big display. Like, you know, they say you scare bears away and shit. Right? Didn't phase him. Kept coming. Oh, better do it again. Did it even bigger and louder this time. Again, didn't phase the motherfucker. Now, he's about 10 feet from me. Still coming. I'm standing there. Now Henry's watching me, a couple other people. I'm standing there just like this, and I'm not fucking running though. I know that. And I watch it, and then it was just all happened in slow motion. The squirrel, you know, took 1, 2 more, you know, running leaps, and then launched himself fucking airborne at me from a distance of about at least 6 feet away. Like, on a trajectory to come, like, up here somewhere and land on me. And fucking crawl up and bite me in the neck and face and everything, give me rabies and shit, I don't know. Right, so I'm set. I can't fucking believe it, and it was great. From all the training, all the years of training, up to that point, I had been training for over 10, 12 years. Heavy. So I'm standing there, and as the squirrel's coming at me mid-range, didn't think twice about it. It was great. It took over. It guided my body without thought. It was beautiful. As it came in, boom! I hit it with a roundhouse kick. And I swear to God, in air, I hit that thing in midair, and it went over the parked car that was next to me, and it started going shoom, 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 with his tail and his head, like with a turn of the kick. And he landed probably somewhere in the middle of the street, I think. And I was like, yeah, I was proud of myself. I was like, very rarely do I get very proud of myself, happy with myself with stuff like that. It was totally smitten, but I was really smitten with myself then, you know. Yeah, it was a good solid shot too. It wasn't like half went off my feet. I mean, I caught him with all of it and fucking sent him over there. And I didn't hurt him, you know. I was defending myself, for Christ's sake. And it landed, boom, like it turned, it looked at me again, and I'm like, really, motherfucker? You know, I'll kill you this time. And it got up and looked at me and just like Tourette's, you know, and went fucking to terrorize some other place. you know, and that was that. But I'll never forget that, man. It's so wild. And it's not that I'm proud I kicked the squirrel, but I am. And the fucking son of a bitch attacked me, was, you know, coming at me, and I didn't even get my hands dirty. Boom, it felt good. It was one of them good kicks where you kick something like a living thing, a person, usually, and you get the kick in or the punch, or mainly the kick, a good solid kick in, you hit their body, and it goes in a little bit with that soft feeling, like kicking the. It's like you're kicking a melon, or something, or with steel cap shoes, or something that slightly breaking, damaging feeling you get from doing that kind of kicking. But yeah, that was a trip, and I've never fucking looked at squirrels the same ever since. I watched them little motherfuckers, man. They're fucking crazy. They're fucking nuts, and they'll fuck you up. I'm telling you. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't kick that thing and get it away from me without, you know, I probably would have got rabies or some kind of shit, you know, because they move so fast and squirrely, you know. And they're psychotic, most of them, you know. they really are. So that's my infamous, my squirrel story. But I'll tell you another thing about it too, where I get the lesson of strength from it, and attitude, because think about it, per ratio, size ratio and proportionate, how much bigger are we than that little fucking squirrel? I don't know, extremely gigantic, I would say. To make a comparison, that would be, I guess, like us, a person, going against something that was a being that was like, I don't know, twice the size of the fucking Twin Towers or something, and same body mass, huge size, you know, just like going up against a fucking giant T-Rex or something in size-wise, right? Like a David Goliath type thing, right? But it didn't fucking phase this fucking crazy squirrel. I'm telling you, he scared fucking Henry Chase, the 250-pound guy. Put a little scare into me. And look how small it is. So there's actually lots of lessons to get from that, you know. And again, it goes back to attitude, which ironically enough, I read tonight on a short. Here, Be a Lion. I'm going to read it now. About that very same thing. Be a lion. Fortune favors the brave, for they know. The difference comes down to attitude. Being the most intelligent is not enough. No good. Being the biggest or largest is also not enough to do it either. Nor being the strongest or fiercest animal either. So it's not the biggest of all the animals in the jungle. It's not the largest. It's not the smartest. It's not the fastest or the fiercest. But the difference in the lion is attitude. Like the lion, it is not the biggest or the strong. He is not the biggest or the strongest or fastest or smartest animal in the jungle. But when he shows up, they all run away. Don't they? Attitude. So that squirrel had a fucking attitude, you know, and strength in it. You know, he risked it all. He said, "Fuck you, giant motherfucker," you know, and was committed to it, you know. And that kind of intensity and energy and stuff is universal, I reckon, if you can tap into it. And when you do, it transcends all the other barriers of language and communication, I reckon, because violence, I would say, is one of the universal languages. You know, real quick thing on that. You know, aliens or ETs come down here, a specific race speaks something we have obviously cannot fucking understand at all, and it's vice versa with them. Now, if they're cool and don't want to kill us and eat and do all the shit and steal and all that, their actions will show it. Their attitude will show it. You get along. If they come down and they're immediately hostile and trying to get us or something, well, then we know what their attitude is, right? So we know at least what language they're speaking. So we can now return that, you know. So same with the squirrel. It didn't say, hey, fucker, you know, I don't know, it's just business, you know. And committed itself, you know, completely. So, and that's a pretty powerful thing. Like I said, a little tiny thing like that was scaring to me for a second or two. All with attitude, you know. So, you know, lots of times when situations like that happen, I stop and I break it down because I find a lot of times the real thing in things that are far less than human, usually, or not, you know. I don't know how to explain that, but for another time, how about that? Yeah. So today is Tuesday. I usually say that in the beginning, but today is Tuesday, May 15th, 2024. Time of day is 22:45 hours. And I'm about done. I did 4 shorts. I did this and a couple other takes. My days off are done. Back to it. Other last thing I want to note here in my journal, my digital journal here for my day is also today I finally decided on which scooter I want to get, which electric scooter I want to get after many, many hours of my obsessive searching and researching and I mean it's been weeks now actually. But I finally boiled it down to like 2, and actually pulled the trigger on one tonight. So I'm going to talk about that till I get it because it's going to drive me crazy. I can't wait. And that's a wrap, folks. I'd like to thank all the new people who've subscribed. Really appreciate it very much. All the viewers, the likes, again, appreciate it. This gives me ground to start building my rogue nation, and when I can sell merchandise here, or I can have a store and have some cool shit on there other than my. Do I have it here? I brought it upstairs, of course. Fuck. No, it's right here. Copy. This is what the books are going to look like. All right, this is one of the last copies I have of, this is my 2001 journal, the year 9/11. First year I ran my own school completely by myself, first year. And I was also a dad for the first time, too, this year. And it's a 12-month journal from December to January 2002. And the 9/11 shit in here is intense. But anyway, the 95-96 journal that I've been talking about forever, my favorite one. This is how I'll be doing them, but with a much different cover. One I did myself, custom. Worked on it for months, several months. Both the cover and the back, these design, and I'm going to show them when they're done. But I'm almost in the phase of having everything now and just putting them all together with my industrial stapler, everything. I'm doing it all. And so hopefully when I get to the store, I'll be able to sell my journal books for y'all. And cool ass shirts, cool ass hats. it's gonna be cool. So I thank all of you for that. Or something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Also, this also starts the season with my knife fighting, trading, American Bowie knife fighting, as well as empty hand stuff, which I'm gonna do more of this year and take on some more students like that locally. But maybe I'll see if there's a way I could expand that teaching stuff out too, also through Zoom or something like that. But here I go again, hatching the fucking eggs before they're chickens. I don't like it when I do that. Now I'm definitely gonna fucking stop. Jason out. The heater's still on. That's a way to fucking start anything. What'd you say? Talking to me? Talking to me. I don't see anybody else standing around here. Who the fuck are you talking to? Huh? Okay. Alright. You should know what that movie is. If you don't know what that movie is, you should know what it is. So I'm not going to say what it is. Hello, greetings, one and all in one. I don't know what the fuck that means, why I say that. I just say it out of habit, I think. But anyway, hello. This is the first segment of my tapings today, so there's not going to be another to add to this. Who the fuck cares, right? Start over. All right. This is what I call the squirrel story. All right. I have a story for you. All right, true story, 150% true. It was we had about 23 years ago. Who the fuck cares about that much accuracy?